Michael stood in silence when your name was mentioned. What he finally said will shake you. Michael did not flinch when the scroll was opened. He did not tremble, nor did he blink. In a realm where time bends and the veil between dimensions thins, he stood still, not out of fear but divine restraint. As the scroll was unfurled, and the names of those marked for divine appointment were read aloud, your name echoed through the heavenly court. It was not spoken as a whisper, nor was it shouted. It resounded as a decree, and when it was declared, the atmosphere changed. There was no clamor, no reaction of haste. Only silence. Sacred, sovereign, still. In the council of watchers, those who see what men overlook, those who mark the movements of the earth and weigh the hearts of kings, your name was spoken, and as your name was uttered, a holy silence fell. It was the silence of deliberation, the silence of honor, the silence of destiny unfolding before the eyes of angels and the ears of the eternal. This was not the silence of neglect, but the hush of heaven holding its breath. A spiritual courtroom moment unlike any other. Michael, Prince of Heaven's hosts, the warring one, the defender of the righteous, stood without a word. He did not go his sword, nor did he bow his head. He watched. He waited. He paused not because he doubted, but because he recognized the weight of the moment. For your name had reached the altar, and not every name gets there. Not every name is remembered in the thrones of light. This message, this sacred message, is not for the curious. It is not for the casual. It is not for those who scroll for stimulation or chase prophecy for entertainment. This message is for the called, the marked, the awakened ones, the chosen vessels hidden in plain sight. Stillness is your access key. Silence is your armor. You must understand this. What Archangel Michael said next was not just words, it was a spiritual shaking. A declaration that sent tremors through timelines, broke chains in unseen realms, and summoned angels to new stations. What he said next was not just for the moment. It was for your legacy. It was for your lineage. It was for the shift that is now beginning. The silence before the storm has passed. Now, hear what was finally said, and prepare. For your life, your very essence, is about to align with a divine shaking that cannot be undone. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. The moment your name reached heaven's gate, time slowed. Michael stands tall, sword drawn, yet unmoved by chaos. When your name arrived at the gate of eternity, time itself paused. There was no rush, no noise, no movement. Everything that had breath, even the stars, seemed to hold still. The scrolls of destiny, heavy with the ink of divine timing, were opened by hands not made of flesh, and your name was not placed lightly among the pages. It was inscribed. It was marked. It was sealed with authority. The gate did not creak nor clang. It reverberated. For the name spoken was not just a name. It was a sound that shook foundations, a vibration that unsettled both demonic plans and divine protocols alike. Michael, the archangel of war and witness, did not rush. He did not speak. He did not blink. Sword in hand, eyes of fire, he stood unmoved in the face of cosmic tension. For something in your timeline has shifted. Even now, a divine interruption is occurring. A rerouting, a divine recalibration. What you thought was confusion is actually correction. What you assumed was delay is actually alignment. What you called silence is sacred orchestration. Heaven is not idle, beloved. No, it is calculating. It is assessing who will heed and who will dismiss. The spirit realm is watching. Angels lean forward. Demons recoil. And here you are, caught in the stillness of a moment that holds eternal weight. Before the sun completes its next cycle, a truth will begin to pierce your understanding. A veil will lift. The fog will retreat. You will not even be the same person by the time dawn breaks, for revelation is coming like lightning, swift, disruptive, undeniable. But understand this. Not everyone is allowed into this moment. This message is not for those who are comfortable in chaos or complacent in carnality. It is for those being awakened by something they can't quite name but can't seem to escape. If your soul has felt restless, if your spirit has stirred without explanation, you are not imagining things. You are being summoned. Not by man, but by the Most High. You are being pulled into an awareness that will not allow you to return to who you were. This silence around you, this strange stillness, it is not abandonment. It is divine tension. Like the breath before the trumpet, like the hush before the earthquake. It is loaded with purpose, charged with answers, heavy with glory. His silence is the womb of what is about to be born. Michael stands not because he must, but because he chooses to. His posture is protection. His stillness is strategy. You are not forgotten. You are being evaluated. You are not behind. You are in a holding pattern engineered for glory. Do not rush this. Do not flee this silence. Stand in it. Soak in it. Let your spirit catch what your mind cannot understand. For in this pause, heaven is preparing your next instruction. And when it comes, it will not whisper. It will thunder. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. You sensed it. People watching but saying nothing. Whispers behind doors you never opened. Vibes shift. You know it, don't you? That sensation, like eyes are on you when no one's in the room. That inner tightening in your gut when the atmosphere around you shifts without warning. You've walked into spaces lately and felt the temperature drop. Not physically, but spiritually. The conversations stop just a little too quickly. The energy changes just a little too sharply. You smile, but the air around you tells the truth. You sensed it. People you once trusted are growing quiet. Eyes once bright with support now blink with suspicion. The compliments feel hollow. The check-ins have stopped. Whispers linger behind doors you never had to knock on before. And still, you carry on. Still, you walk like nothing is happening. But inside, questions rise like smoke from an unseen fire. What are they not telling me? It's not paranoia. It's discernment. Your spirit is catching what your ears have not yet heard. There's a tremor in the silence, a message in the lack of words. Someone near you, close to you, is hiding what they think you can't handle. Maybe it's their envy. Maybe it's betrayal. Maybe it's the simple truth that your elevation makes them uncomfortable. But it's real. It's there. And your soul knows it. Even your own heart carries unspoken questions. Why the sudden shift in tone? Why the spiritual heaviness around certain names? Why the dream that repeats itself with faces that look familiar but feel foreign? The silence around you isn't empty, it's loaded. It's dripping with clues, pregnant with prophetic codes, charged with heaven's warning system. Your name causes tremors in both hell and heaven. That's why you feel this pressure. That's why you feel eyes when no one's around. Your name has weight. Your name is spoken in rooms you haven't entered. It is being discussed in the invisible corridors of power. Plans are forming. Decisions are being made. The enemy knows he can't stop you, but he's hoping to distract you with silence, with suspicion, with self-doubt. But here's the mystery: you were never meant to hear them. You were meant to sense them. The silence is your clue, not your curse. The emotional distance is your signal, not your sentence. You are being pulled out of the crowd for consecration, not isolation. Heaven is disconnecting you from what cannot go where you're going. This is not punishment, it's preparation. And yes, it shakes you. Yes, it disrupts your peace. But disruption is the beginning of divine design. You are not crazy. You are not oversensitive. You are spiritually awake in a world that is spiritually numb. Michael stood silent because your name activated something ancient. A protocol was triggered. A protection order was released. Heaven responded not with noise but with watching. And in that stillness, demons tremble. Angels draw swords. And your path begins to shift. You're not imagining it. You're encountering it. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now activated over your life. This is no coincidence. It's consecrated confrontation. The confusion you feel is a form of holy smoke. Listen closely. What you've been walking through is not confusion. It's consecration cloaked in chaos. The strange interruptions, the delays that seem to mock your prayers, the silence that has stretched itself across your timeline like a thick fog, none of it is random. None of it is accidental. This is not mere opposition. This is sacred confrontation. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The turbulence around you is not a detour. It is divine design. What looks like resistance is actually recalibration. What feels like rejection is actually redirection. You see, heaven does not always move with explanation. Sometimes, it moves with separation. It strips, it sifts, it silences, and it watches what you'll do in the silence. Every closed door, every unanswered call, every delay that tried to paralyze your belief, it was arranged. Not by your enemies, not by your doubts, but by divine command. There are things you were not supposed to walk into yet. There are people who were not permitted to continue beside you. There are paths that looked good but were not go. So the doors closed. So the voices faded. So the silence deepened. You thought they were ignoring you. You thought they didn't care. But hear this now. They weren't ignoring you. They were blinded to your light. Your growth has made you spiritually unrecognizable to those who only knew the former version of you. Heaven veiled you. Heaven dimmed your visibility. Not to hide you out of punishment, but to conceal you for protection. Michael remained still, not because he doubted your worth, but because the heavens were deliberating. Your next move had to be precise. Your next elevation had to be pure. The scroll could not be released until the weight of your calling was matched by the clarity of your understanding. This is spiritual war disguised as emotional warfare. The conflict is not in the natural, it's in the spirit realm. And your obedience is part of the heavenly verdict. You're not being overlooked. You're being examined. Not by man, but by the Holy One who reads hearts and searches intentions. So stop asking, why me? Start declaring, for such a time as this. Because this is not a storm, it's a setting, a backdrop for breakthrough. You are standing in divine tension, not because you failed, but because you passed a test you didn't even know you were taking. Every unreturned text, every delayed promise, every door that never opened, it was a message coded in spiritual symbols. Wait. Watch. Were you? You have not been demoted. You have been marked. And Michael's silence was never about indifference. It was about timing. It was about divine order. It was about recognition. Heaven knows who you are. Hell fears what you carry. Earth has yet to fully see it. But the time is near. The conflict is only the echo of the crown. Type I am divinely positioned in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 8484 is now upon you. Within 72 hours, something hidden will be exposed. Someone is making a move. You must stay ready. This is the hour of uncovering. The veil is thinning. The masks are slipping. And within the next 72 hours, a revelation will arrive that will make sense of every silence. You felt the tension. You sensed the plotting. Now the diamond is tightening. What was hidden is about to surface. Someone in your circle, someone who's observed your life with quiet calculation, is preparing a move. Not for your promotion, but for your derailment. They are crafting a narrative, assembling half-truths, and positioning their deception behind your kindness. They are using your heart as their access point. But Michael saw it. Michael paused not out of surprise, but because heaven was waiting. Waiting to see your response. Waiting to see if you would react or retreat. Heaven allowed this silence to stretch, not to hurt you, but to protect you from speaking too soon. To protect you from exposing your insight to the very enemy it was meant to defeat. This trap is not just physical, it is energetic, spiritual, emotional. You must be still. You must be silent. The battle is not yours to fight with your mouth, but to win with your watchfulness. Do not speak first. Do not defend yourself. Do not try to explain what God is about to expose. Let them reveal themselves. Their words will betray them. Their actions will indict them. Their silence will become their confession. All you need to do is stay in divine alignment. Heaven is your courtroom. Michael is your witness. The Spirit is your defense. A divine confrontation is coming. Not just with people, but with principalities. This is not a gossip war. It is a glory clash. What they thought they buried in the shadows is about to be judged in the light. What they said in secret is about to echo in public. And you must not wonder. You must not waver. Guard your heart. Guard your words. Guard your presence. Your silence in this moment is your most powerful weapon. Because heaven is orchestrating the exposure. And when it comes, it will come suddenly. It will come righteously. It will come without your effort, because it was never your burden to carry. The enemy used silence to unsettle you. But now, God is using silence to protect you. You are walking into a divine courtroom where the only sound will be truth. And truth does not need volume. It needs presence. Michael is watching. The watchers are waiting. The shift is beginning. Type I will not react in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 5555 is now defending you. Stillness is your strongest response in this hour. Withdraw, observe, pray. Let the Spirit instruct you. Do not mistake divine stillness for divine silence. Do not confuse heavenly strategy with earthly passivity. What feels like a pause in your life is not a punishment. It is preparation. You are not stalled. You are being stationed. You are not lost. You are being layered in spiritual wisdom. The moments where nothing seems to move, those are the moments when heaven is positioning you for the most powerful protection you've ever known. Stillness is not weakness. It is a weapon. It is your shield in this season. It is your cover in the chaos. The Spirit is not just calling you to pause. He is calling you to hide, to withdraw, to observe, and most importantly, to pray. Not performative prayers, not religious rituals, but deep, Spirit-led groanings that speak mysteries in realms where human language fails. You must enter this hour with discernment, not discussion, with worship, not worry, with silence, not striving. Michael's silence was a strategy, not a shroud. It was calculated. It was precise. It was holy. His lack of words did not indicate apathy. It marked angelic attention. His stillness signaled readiness. And just like him, you must stand. You must listen. You must resist the urge to explain yourself to people not assigned to understand you. You are not defenseless. Heaven is on alert. The court of heaven has dispatched angels concerning you. Worry angels, darty angels, angels of wisdom and discernment. Your name has been wrapped in light. Your steps are being monitored. And every move is being divinely coordinated, even the ones you don't understand. Every tear you've cried in private, accorded. Every sigh you've breathed in the silence of your night hours, sacred. The Father hears what words cannot carry. Your silence in this season is not neglect. It is negotiation. You are part of a divine exchange, and that exchange requires confidentiality. Do not leak what God is still constructing. Do not post what heaven has only whispered. Keep your power cloaked in quietness. Say less. Do less. Let God be more in this. You will be tempted to react. You will be baited to respond. Do not fall for it. There is a trap being set, disguised as a conversation. There is a snare laid out, wrapped in familiar faces. But your silence will expose it all. Let your prayers be loud in heaven and invisible on earth. Let your discernment lead your decisions. Every delay is not the devil. Some delays are divine detours meant to keep you hidden from premature warfare. Some of what God has promised you must be protected from even those closest to you. Michael has not withdrawn from your story. He is stationed in strategic silence. And in that silence, warfare rages on your behalf. The Spirit is instructing you to be still, not to do nothing but to do only what heaven instructs. That is the secret to this next level. That is the password to your protection. Silence is not your punishment. It is your warfare cloaked in wisdom. Type "I will be still" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6262 is now circling your atmosphere. They underestimated your growth, but heaven didn't. You're not who you were when they betrayed you. What they failed to see, heaven always knew. What they mocked in you, God magnified. What they tried to shrink, God expanded in secret. You are not the same. You have been transformed by silence, shaped by the shadows, molded by midnight conversations with the Spirit. You are not coming back as the same version of yourself. You are rising different. You are rising stronger. You are rising chosen. They underestimated your growth. They looked for weakness and ignored your wisdom. They tried to provoke your past but didn't realize they were waking up a weapon. You are not soft because you are silent. You are strategic. You are sacred. And now, you are stepping into a power they never prepared for. Heaven never doubted you. Michael never questioned your resolve. He watched you cry and keep walking. He watched you get betrayed and not retaliate. He watched you stand in silence while others ran their mouths. And he knew, this one is ready. Ready for elevation. Ready for revelation. Ready for access that only obedience can unlock. Your pain did not break you. It built your armor. Every betrayal became a brick. Every heartbreak a hammer. Every rejection a reinforcement. You are walking around with spiritual muscles they cannot see, and therefore cannot manipulate. You're no longer susceptible to their tactics. You're no longer swayed by their silence or provoked by their presence. You've been fortified. Michael knew the silence wouldn't destroy you. He knew it would develop you. And now, your spirit is aligned with heaven's rhythm. You move different. You pray deeper. You discern quicker. And that spiritual precision makes you dangerous, not to people, but to principalities. This isn't just growth. This is fulfillment. The prophecy written over your life is no longer waiting in the wings. It's walking into the room. You are not an afterthought. You are not plan B. You are prophecy manifested in human skin. Your voice will not be silenced. Your presence will not be denied. And as you rise, remember this. You're not rising alone. Heaven rises with you. Michael stands with you. Angels flank you. And divine favor surrounds you. The silence was never a sign of your smallness. It was the strategy for your emergence. You were forged in the fire they never saw. And now, you're walking out with a glow they can't ignore. If this message is activating something inside of you, consider sowing a super thanks. $10 can go a long way in helping us deliver more of these spirit-led messages. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am emerging in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3030 is now lighting your path. This trial was the gate, not the grave. Michael spoke your name in a realm of decision. You thought it was over. You thought the silence was the sign of death, the end of the vision, the closure of what you once believed was promised. But heaven never intended it to be a grave. It was a gate. It wasn't the closing of your story. It was the beginning of a transition so weighty, only silence could carry it. The trial was not your destruction. It was the divine threshold into the realm of prophetic clarity. Michael stood, not in fear, not in hesitation, but in readiness. Your name passed through realms, across dimensions, until it reached the chamber of decision, the scroll room where destinies are not only discussed but activated. The watchers looked on. A cloud of witnesses leaned forward. The fire of the throne glowed brighter. And then it happened. Your name was spoken. Not randomly, not lightly, but intentionally. And heaven responded, this one is ready for the scroll. The silence before that moment was not neglect. It was calibration. The stillness was not God's absence. It was the weight of heaven forming a sentence with your name at the center. This scroll was not about mere survival. It was about succession. You were never fighting to stay alive. You were contending for legacy. The opposition was never about your current season. It was about the eternal ripple your obedience would cause in generations yet unborn. Michael did not flinch because he knew the fire you walked through did not consume you. It refined you. The betrayal didn't break you. It beautified your resolve. The delays didn't deny you. They defined your discernment. You're not who you were when this battle began. And that matters in the spiritual realm, because access is not given based on who you were. It's granted based on who you've become in the pressing. The silence was your final exam, and you passed it without knowing the results were being recorded in heaven. That's the mystery of prophetic testing. It's rarely announced. The reward, it's undeniable. Your obedience unlocked a higher access point, not just in influence, but in authority. You have entered the gate. You have crossed into new spiritual jurisdiction. You are no longer just seen. You are being summoned. There is a mandate coming to your spirit, and it won't feel like suggestion. It will feel like fire. A fresh word. A fresh wind. A what? Heaven is not experimenting with you. Heaven is commissioning you. The scroll has been released. Your name hath been sealed. And Michael has taken flight. The stillness has shifted into motion. The silence has turned into summoning. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to strive for approval. You have already been affirmed, divinely, prophetically, and irrevocably. The voice that thundered in the chamber declared your readiness. This is your unlocking. This is your elevation. It does not begin when others agree. It begins with heaven decree. And the decree has already been for. Type I am unlocked in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1212 is now releasing scrolls of revelation into your life. Rise. Speak the truth heaven already marked in you. Declare, I am chosen. I am covered. I am ready. This is the moment where hesitation must die. This is the hour where delay must dissolve. You have been summoned not for survival, but for activation. The wait is over. The hesitation is now a hindrance. You are no longer in the holding place. You are in the launching place. And destiny is knocking. Rise. Rise not just physically, but spiritually. Rise in belief. Rise in awareness. Rise in posture. Rise in boldness. Because the mantle is not waiting on your perfection. It's waiting on your agreement. The Spirit of God is not calling you because you did everything right. He's calling you because you finally see it. You finally feel it. You finally know it. You are chosen. Say it now. I am chosen. I am covered. I am ready. A declaration is not poetic. It is prophetic. It is a war cry. It is a kingdom password. It unlocks angelic movement. It confirms heavenly motion. It triggers the next instruction. The moment you say yes, genuinely, wholly, without compromise, doors will shift open. Some may creak. Some may explode. Some may dissolve. But they will open. Because the yes that comes from your spirit is louder than the noise from your past. Your surrender is a battering ram in the unseen world. It is heaven's code-breaker. Heaven is not waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to believe who you already are. You have been marked. You have been seen. You have been sealed. You don't need a platform. You are the platform. You don't need a spotlight. You carry the light. You don't need validation from them. You've already been validated from Him. Your name echoed in eternity. Yes, yours. You, the one who thought they were too broken. You, the one who doubted the timing. You, the one who stayed quiet when you could have lashed out. Your name is written in fire. It is seen by angels. It is feared by demons. It is whispered in strategy rooms of spiritual warfare. And now, heaven says, walk accordingly. You don't have to match the energy of the room. You bring the atmosphere of heaven with you. Your very presence shifts terrain. Your words are arrows. Your silence is thunder. Your faith is a tidal wave against the darkness. You are sealed with purpose. Now, respond in power. You will not fail. You will not fold. You will not fade. You are rising, not as a survivor of silence, but as a carrier of scrolls. You are emerging, not as someone who stumbled into favor, but as one who was forged for it. If you felt the fire of this moment, consider sewing into this mission with a super chat or super thanks. Even $50 goes a long way in empowering more prophetic messages like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am activated in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4141 is now breathing life into your destiny. While you wondered, angels were warring over your path. There was a negotiation on your behalf, divine and precise. In the space between your questions and heaven's response, something powerful was unfolding, beyond your line of sight, beneath the veil of the natural world. While you wrestled with silence, angels were already deployed. While you felt forgotten, you were actually being fiercely defended. There was a silent exchange happening, not with words but with fire. Not with arguments, but with authority. It wasn't visible to the naked eye, but it was shaking the heavens. This was not an activity. It was invisible intensity. A divine negotiation began the moment your name was mentioned. The moment Michael stood in silence, the spirit realm exploded with motion. Principalities paused. Angels took their places. A verdict was being decided in realms too high for human interference. There were terms being set, agreements being examined. Your past was weighed, but your obedience tipped the scale. Your tears testified. Your worship spoke louder than your wounds. And in that sacred silence, a trade was made. The enemy came with accusations. He pointed to your faults, your delays, your inconsistencies. He brought receipts of your former fears. He used your past like evidence in a courtroom, but heaven had already sealed the record. Grace stood on your behalf. Mercy stood on your behalf. The blood of the Lamb interceded louder than every mistake you've made. And Michael, sword in hand, stood in agreement, not in argument. There was no shouting. There was no drama. There was silence. And yet, that silence roared with heavenly verdicts. This exchange didn't happen in chaos. It happened in covenant. Your identity was reaffirmed. Your scroll was advanced. Your access was increased. And though you felt the waiting, what was being prepared for you was more than worth the delay. Every delay was a spiritual transaction, not a denial. Every closed door was a recalibration of alignment. What you couldn't understand in the natural was already being arranged in the supernatural. While you were pacing floors, angels were covering territory. While you were losing sleep, heaven was releasing secrets. You were not forgotten. You were being fortified. Your spirit felt it. The unrest, the dreams, the temperature changes, the atmospheric tension. These weren't just symptoms of stress. They were signals of spiritual warfare. The Spirit was alerting your soul that something sacred was happening behind the veil. You didn't imagine it. You didn't overreact. You discerned accurately. Heaven was shifting what was stolen back into your hands. What the enemy tried to hijack through distraction and discouragement, heaven routed through divine strategy. You are not emerging empty-handed. You are walking out of this silence with spoils, wisdom, authority, revelation, discernment, clarity. These are your weapons now. These are your treasures from the trenches. Michael did not speak until heaven agreed on your upgrade. The silence held power, and now it speaks restoration. Now it releases recompense. Now it declares access. What was fought for in silence will be revealed in glory. You didn't need to fight. You needed to endure. And because you endured, you have been rewarded in realms you haven't even entered yet. Type I receive my restoration in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7373 is unlocking angelic recompense now. Every lie spoken about you is now on trial. Those who tried to bury you forgot your roots. The tables are turning. The scales are shifting. What was once whispered in corners will now be judged in the courts of heaven. This is not the season of vengeance, it is the season of justice. And heaven's justice moves with precision, not pettiness. Every word spoken against you, every lie sown into the atmosphere, has now been summoned into divine review. You are no longer the defendant. You are the witness of reversal. Those who tried to bury you never understood your design. You were not made of dust. You were made of destiny. You don't decay underground. You grow. You don't collapse in silence. You expand. You don't die under pressure. You multiply. And the very soil they tried to suffocate you with has become your source of strength. What they meant for harm is now your harvest. What they used to discredit you is now heaven's validation. What they twisted in shadows is being unraveled in the light. You are not fighting for vindication. Vindication is already walking toward you, cloaked in the garment of divine timing. Justice is not delayed, it's divinely measured. Heaven is never right. Heaven is always right. You thought you were forgotten, but you were only being aligned. You assumed they got away with it, but heaven was building a case. Every betrayal was documented. Every secret weapon formed against you was noted. And now the reversal is in motion. Michael didn't need to argue. Truth speaks last. Truth doesn't shout to be heard. It stands to be revealed. And what is being revealed now is a holy turning. The names of those who mocked you will fade, but your name will rise with honor. You won't have to explain the shift. Your fruit will testify. What once shamed you will now shine. What once disqualified you will now qualify you. The very thing you thought would ruin you has been re-scripted into the reason for your rise. God does not reverse situations just to prove a point. He reverses them to establish a promise. You are the fulfillment of that promise. You are the manifestation of that prophecy. This is not karma. It's kingdom justice. So stand still. Let heaven finish what it started. The ones who walked away thinking they won will watch you walk into your winning season. The reversal will not be subtle. It will be sovereign. It will be unmistakable. And it will be undeniable. Your name is now associated with divine justice. Let the silence of yesterday give way to the shout of today. Restoration is here. Reversal is real. Justice is now. If this word confirms what you felt in your spirit, consider supporting the message through a super thanks or super sticker. A gift of $20 keeps these revelations flowing and helps reach others hungry for truth. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4545 is now shifting your season into divine reversal. You are seen by heaven, known by angels, sealed in fire. This moment is not an end. It is a birthing. Let it be known now, to every realm and every watcher, you are seen. You are not invisible to the Father. You are not ignored by the heavens. From the moment the scroll was opened and Michael stood in silence, your name rang through the courts of the eternal, and heaven has not taken its eyes off you since. You are not forgotten. You are foretold. You are not random. You are recognized. You are not wandering. You are walking in divine alignment. What felt like the end of everything familiar was actually the beginning of everything prophetic. This is not the chapter where your light dims. It is the moment your glory intensifies. You are known by angels. They have watched you wrestle in silence. They have stood guard while you wept through prayers you could barely speak. They have shielded you from enemies you didn't see and delivered messages you didn't even know you received. Every time you said yes to God, while your world said no to you, heaven took notice. Every time you worshipped in the wilderness, you rewrote the atmosphere over your life. Angels were dispatched, not just to protect you, but to partner with your purpose. You are sealed in fire. The kind of fire that doesn't consume, it commissions. A kind of fire that does not destroy, but defines. You are not emerging with the smell of smoke. You are emerging with the seal of sovereignty. You are covered in the flame of divine presence. That fire is not just around you, it is in you. It is what will ignite others when your voice breaks silence. It is what will shake dimensions when you speak what God places on your time. This moment, this holy culmination, is not an ending. It is a birthing. Something eternal has just been activated. Something generational has just been awakened. You are not finishing a message. You are beginning a mission. You are not concluding a word. You are being launched by it. There is no going back. There is no shrinking now. You have seen too much. You have heard too deeply. You have survived too strategically. Michael's silence was not void. It was volume. It was the spiritual thunder before the divine rain. And now his words echo through time, shaking off residue, breaking limitations, declaring what heaven has already settled. This one is marked. This one is ready. This one shall not be delayed. Now rise. Rise in peace, not the peace of passivity, but the peace that comes from unshakable certainty. Rise in strength, not the strength of flesh, but the strength born of stillness. Rise in purpose, not in pursuit of applause, but in pursuit of assignment. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. And nothing can stop what heaven has released over your name. It has begun. If this final revelation has stirred your spirit and confirmed your calling, consider blessing this channel with a super thanks of $10 or more. Every gift fuels the release of more spirit-led words that reach and heal. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am sent in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is now sealing your new beginning in the Spirit.